I hope you guys enjoyed the movement today. It's good to see a lot of kids today. My wife said that this is a place where the kids can act like grown-ups and the grown-ups can act like kids. And really believe that if we go out regularly and shake it up, that we won't have to create a Sandy or something else to come and shake us up in order for us to let go. So, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's all doing what it's supposed to do. And we're being where we're supposed to be. To kind of give a short talk today about embracing uncertainty. Ever since 2008, uncertainty has been on the rise. I think we can maybe agree upon that. The feeling of uncertainty. And I have this beautiful quote here about uncertainty that says, if uncertainty is unacceptable to you, it turns into fear. If it is perfectly acceptable, it turns into aliveness, alertness, and creativity. It's by Eckhart Tolle. And so, we can either resist what is and act like it's not there, or we can embrace it, we can accept it. And what I've been talking a lot about is that by embracing anything that's uncomfortable, we transmute it, we become one with it. See, because we give our power away by being separate from what is. And by separating ourselves from whatever is, you know, it doesn't diminish what is. We diminish our power. But by accepting what is and unifying with it, we dissolve the sense of separation with life. And then life itself starts to take over, and we feel a sense of certainty even within us, because certainty cannot come from outside of us. That's the illusion. We've always been taught this illusion that our safety lies outside of us. And so now we as humanity get to see that on a global level or collective level, that certainty and safety and security really comes from within us. That's who we are. It's not what that nothing outside us can give us that. And so around 2008, Pluto went to Capricorn. And the last time Pluto went to Capricorn was when there was an American Revolution. Just an interesting note. And Pluto will be in Capricorn until 2023. And it's just around that time where you say, like, I started feeling a lot of since we're all connected, and I started feeling a lot of what was going on in society, this uncomfortableness, this insecurity, these feelings of instability. But what's happened to me recently, a couple months ago, I noticed that I was with somebody, they were doing body work on me, and I said, you know, I remember I used to feel the collective very strongly, what's going on. And now I just feel like this strong sense of stability and safety, like everything's okay. I'm like, is everything like that outside? Is everybody going through that? He's like, no, everybody's not going through the okayness, it's just you know? So I said, oh, okay. And what I think is true is that, you know, the more we drop from the level of our thinking into the level of being, that field of beingness, the unified field, we become one with all that is. And then instead of becoming receivers of the collective consciousness, or the mass consciousness, and being influenced so heavily by it, we become transmitters. We have a receiver and a transmitter. You know, I didn't use my wireless mic today, but I have a receiver. I have a transmitter that'll take it and send it back, and then that receiver will receive it. So we can go from becoming receivers of the collective, of the fear, the angst, the insecurity, or we can be transmitters by being rooted in who we are, by rooted in the awakening of who we are. And then the who we are does the work. We don't have to figure it out, we don't have to control it. We just allow it, because the vibration of who we are is more powerful than anything that we could create mentally from our mind. And the vibration of who we are will draw onto us whatever is needed and repel from us whatever is not needed. The thing is, our beliefs hold things in place or repel things from coming into our experience. And so, awakening to the light of consciousness allows that light of consciousness to become greater is that which is within us than that is in the world. And I know I quote the Bible a lot, but, you know, we can talk Veda, we can talk Taoism, we can talk Buddhism, we can talk, you know, yoga. It's all one. It's all same. They're all saying the same thing. They're not. It's not the one particular, you know, tradition is saying something another one is not. They're just maybe dressed up in different culturally, or dressed up, language-wise, or, traditionally, different ways. But when we get to the heart of each tradition, it's oneness. It's we're all one. So we're this field. There's something greater within us than that which is in the world. And when we can tune into it, we allow it to work through us. We can be conduits for the source energy. We can allow it to work through us. And we can feel the sense of stability and security because it comes from within us. We can't create it outside of us and then feel it, you know? And if we do, at some point that'll be taken away, and then what? You go back to figuring out who we really are. Awake to who we really are. Suffering is due to our clinging or resisting. It is our unwillingness to move on, to flow with life. Nisargadata Maharaj. And so that's the other thing. We can resist what is, but what we're doing by resisting the isness, the reality of life that life is presenting to us, we're only doubling up on our suffering. We're only creating more suffering, you know? And then again, it goes back to what I originally thought. When you're living, you've already, the basis of your life is already based in separation. And so then there's fear that comes along with separation. And so we're here to awaken from beyond the fear to the unity consciousness, the oneness that we are. Dissolving the self is the creed and religion of lovers. There's no way to find your essence without giving up yourself. So melt yourself down. Go to a place where you disappear completely. Become nothing. Look and see. I have seen everything and nothing. Rumi. And so that goes hand in hand with this. It's the self that we think we are that needs its sense of security in the external world. And by feeding that sense of self, the false self, the self-image, that which we think we are, we can never find real peace. We can never find real happiness. We cannot never find any real sense of stability. And so even if you see in society people who have all the things that you would want in life, all the money, all the stuff, are they really at peace with who they are because they have that stuff now all of a sudden? No, if anything, if they haven't really dealt with their inner stuff, if they haven't done this connection within, then it only amplifies, their insecurities only amplify. The more they have, the more they feel they're afraid of losing it. And then what you have, you don't have it anymore, it has you. And so this other thing that I see happening in society is a simplification going on. People are simplifying now. All of a sudden, since 2008 things started happening, people say, you know, I can get by with a lot less. I don't need to have the blah, 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 blah. I can, you know, it's simplification. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And that's the true essence, too, of us withdrawing our power from the egoic mind, the small separate self, to what's really necessary. What do I really need? You know? What do I need to make my life comfortable? Because there's an abundance of resources on the planet for everybody, and yet everything is kind of juxtaposed where one percentage, a small percentage has all this stuff materially, and then a large majority is living off of, you know, pennies a day or something, compared to what the minute population is living off of. And so the system has to change. It's unsustainable. That's become a buzzword. It has to change. And we are that change. We are that change through our consciousness, through our awakening, through unifying with ourselves first. Then we can unify with another. It says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Oh, what's it? Love that what? I'm all. Right, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But the prerequisite of loving your neighbor is to love yourself first. We can't love another if we don't really love ourselves. If we really don't. So the same thing, by awakening to who we are, the truth of who we are, the light of who we are, the beingness of who we are. Going beyond our self-image, dissolving that self-image into the reality of being. Something takes over, and it's going from living in the third dimension, which is all about predictability, line up, you know, everything's Newtonian physics, to the fourth and fifth dimension of unpredictability. Heisenberg in the 1920s came up with the uncertainty principle. That you can only they realized that when they go into the minute particles, they can only know the location or the direction of a particle, but they couldn't know both simultaneously. And it was a breakthrough in science saying that we thought everything was so predictable. And there is this unpredictability. The finer you go into life and look at it deeply. And that's all I have to say today. Thanks so much. I want to take a moment to anchor that teaching or anchor the speaking or whatever you want to call it. To experience a trigger. There's many different triggers that can help us to trigger into this experience of oneness, of isness. And one simple one that has come across my awareness lately is what is here? Asking yourself the question, what is here? And allow yourself to experience what is here. Without thinking about it, without analyzing. Just close your eyes and just ask yourself what is here, and allow yourself for the here-ness, the isness, to reveal itself to you. And notice as you sit with what is here, notice what happens in your body physically. Is there a letting go? Is there a surrender? And then gently bring yourself back. So by asking that question, you don't have to even close your eyes. You can even just, doing anything, just say, what is here? And immediately, the very thing that we're looking for, the very thing that we're seeking becomes present in our awareness. And we can merge with it. It's life. What are we looking for? What are we seeking after? The seeker is seeking after life. But life is not on a pilgrimage going somewhere else. It's right here, right now, right where we are. And that life that is here, that is you, is peace. It already is peace. You don't have to manufacture or manipulate to get there. It's just the question, whether it's this trigger or any other question, allows us to dissolve the deconstruct of who we think we are and experiencing the isness, the beingness of what we really are. So I invite, this part of our gathering is about community sharing. So we open up a space where we turn off the camera, and if anybody wants to